What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Get Chalked Up. Today I am going to be decoupaging a couple of drawers that I just finished painting on a nightstand. Well, two nightstands I finished. I painted them with Dixie Belle's Caviar, which was a pain in my behind. When everybody says that caviar is hard to work with, they are not lying. But I got through it, and I painted the top of it with the caviar, and then I painted the drawers and the bottom part of it with, what did I use? I don't even remember what color I used. Oh, drop cloth. Yep, that's what I used. So I'm going to be decoupaging. I'm actually using this tissue paper by Redesign. It's called Zoe. Let's see if I can get that up there. It's kind of blurry. There it is. It's actually really cool. It's my first time actually doing it, and it's pretty cool design on there. It actually doesn't feel like tissue paper at all. It feels more like a dryer sheet, so it's not like super, you're not gonna rip it really easy, because I know some people do decoupaging with regular tissue paper. I haven't tried that yet either, but that's what I'm gonna do next. So, but anyways, for today, I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be just doing it on the drawers, so I figured I would do a video really quick and show you how to do it. I'm going to switch the video around so you can actually see what I'm doing down here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've already cut out the piece that I'm going to use for this part right here. I'm only going to do these little spaces where you can see that there's like a cutout. I'm just going to put it right smack dab in the middle like that. So I already cut this one piece out, but to do that, it's very easy. All you have to do is take your decoupage paper, lay it on here however you want it, whatever part of the design that you want in the on your drawer, lay it down, and then you take your pencil, which mine's on the floor, line it up really nice, and then I just take a pencil, and this is really easy to do because it actually has an outline, so I just have to trace along where I want to cut, which is right here, and then I line the bottom up so that way I don't really have to cut the bottom, because the less you have to cut, for me anyways, the better it is, because I suck at cutting straight lines. So there we have it. Okay, then you want to make sure that you have some crafting scissors or something that are really sharp, and then just cut where you traced. I'm actually going to cut on the inside of the line because I don't want the paper to be in the I guess, cutout of the design. I just want it to be on top. So I'm going to cut it out on the inside of my trace line. And then just try to have a steady hand the best you can, and just cut. It's kind of like wrapping paper. You can kind of just pull it like this. Shwink. All right, so then you just kind of line it up. Make sure that you don't have any stuff that you want to trim off. There's a little bit on the top. I'm going to go ahead and trim that off just a little bit, so it fits on there nicely. If it was on the edge, like if I was decoupaging and it was on the edge right here, I could actually just lay it on there. Then once I put the top coat on, you can just go like this, and it will cut it off like a really nice straight line. However, I can't do that because I'm not going to the edge, of course, because why would I make my life easy, right? All right, I'm just going to trim off just a little bit of the top, like so. All right, just like that. Okay, and then let me line it up again. Perfecto, just like that. And make sure that your drawer is up there like the right way and you're cutting this design the right way, because I ain't even gonna lie, I cut my first piece upside down, and I was not happy. I was actually super annoyed. So, okay, the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna take a top coat or whatever you're gonna use. I'm just gonna use this polyacrylic right now. My top coat from Dixie Belle hasn't came in yet, so I use this stuff. This stuff works just fine as well. I poured it into another little paint cup because I don't want to dip my brush back into the entire can just in case some of the paint comes off. I don't want it to contaminate the rest of the acrylic. So then you just take your brush, get some on there, and then you're just going to put it where you're going to put your decoupage at. You want kind of like, this is going to be the glue that holds it on there, so you're going to want a nice little layer of it, not too thick but not too thin either. And just put it on there, make sure it gets everywhere where the decoupage is going to be. Tissue paper, just like that, and go around the edges really quick like this. Okay. You want to make sure that there's no bubbles in the places where your tissue paper is not going to be, because it's actually going to dry and you don't want it to look terrible on the places where the tissue paper is not going to be. So, clean off your brush a little bit. And just lightly, ever so lightly, go over the areas where there's a couple of bubbles. You never want to overwork this polyacrylic because it will be an entire mess. You'll have to sand it down, repaint it, then put this back on it. So you don't want to overwork it at all. Just make sure it looks nice. Okay, no drips. All right, then you're going to take your paper, make sure it is the correct way that you want it, which is like this. And then you're just going to lay it down, line it up like this. Make sure there's no bubbles in it. Then I just take something with like a flat edge and I just kind of go over it very lightly. Very, very lightly. Like this. Make sure there's none in there. I think that we're good with that. Then you're going to want to take your top coat again and you're going to put a layer over the decoupage tissue paper as well. Like this. You're going to want to make sure that you get it over the entire piece because this is going to help keep it glued down. You don't need a whole lot on your brush for the top coat. Just like this. Just getting that corner right there. And boom. That's pretty much all there is to it. Once this all dries and it's been able to cure, I'll show you a really cool way to make the transfer match your furniture, whatever color that you painted it. This one isn't too bad because I painted it in the drop cloth, so it's just like a white color. But if it was a darker color, if you just take a little bit of your paint, mix it with water, and make a wash, and then once it's completely dried, Once it's completely dried, then you can wash or put the paint over it and wipe the excess off with a lint-free cloth, and it will blend that really well with the furniture that you just painted. All right, now I'm going to move on to the top one. Just gonna do the same exact thing that I did to the bottom one, to the top one. Top piece I'm putting on. And just like this, go around the edge of the little cutout design here. Then I'm going to go ahead and just put a coat on the top as well, because this is going to act as the first coat of my top coat. So I want that to look nice too. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to take my other piece that I'm going to use for the top. I'm going to line it up and smooth it out, make sure there's no bubbles, make sure it's exactly where I want it to be. Like so. You can always lift this back up before it dries too, if you need to. Just be very careful doing it. So I feel like... So I have some excess on this side. I knew I felt something under there. Alright. So I have some excess on this side. After I put it down, I'm just going to go ahead and take my scissors. You can just trim that right off. Just like this. Get my scissors to work, jeez. Just very carefully trim that off. Lay it back down. What is going on here? Lift it back up. And get that little piece right there. Perfect. Alright. And get it on there nice and smooth, and then take another little coat of your poly top coat, whatever you're using, to glue this on, and just put another layer on it to top it off. Just like that. So you can see it's pretty easy to use this stuff. It doesn't tear easily like some of the tissue paper that I hear people have trouble with, because this is more like a drier sheet. It's thicker. It's woven, yeah, together. So makes for an easier piece to work with than the tissue paper. Just like that. How easy was that, you guys? The worst part was cutting the stuff out to make it match up, if you ask me. A little bit more down here. I want to make sure that it's all good. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to let this dry. I already did the other one to get it ready, so that should be dried a little bit sooner, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the wash to blend it all together, put the handles back on, and we'll take a look to see how it looks. See you soon. Alright guys, I am back. I have let my decoupage dry, and now I'm going to show you how you can blend this right into your painted furniture. So the first thing that I did was I took some of the color that I painted the drawer with. I put it in a cup, probably 2 tablespoons I'd say, and then probably another 2 tablespoons of water, mix it up to make a wash. And I'm just using a chip brush to go ahead and apply this. This is super simple. You can do this with any color of paint that you use. So once you have it mixed up, and it's going to be watery, like it's going to look like you could drink it, but don't. You just take it and you're going to go ahead and wash it over your decoupage tissue paper, just like this. And then you're going to take a lint-free rag and wipe it off. Just like this. And wipe it off, I wipe it in circles, wipe it back and forth. This is why you really want to make sure that your stuff is dry before you go in and you do it. But you can see that it took on the color of the drawer. Super simple. And it makes it look a little bit worn as well. So then I'm just going to do it to the second one down here. I'm really loving the way that this turned out actually. I was going to add some dark to this too, some of the dark caviar wash, but I don't think I'm going to. I think this will be just fine. And then once this is dried again, I'm going to do some clear wax over it just to seal everything in. Do that, go ahead, and then wipe it off. Just like that. And you're done. So that's it. That was my first time decoupaging a piece. I think it turned out really, really good. If you have any questions, go ahead, leave them in the comment. If you like the video, please share. Also, subscribe to my page if you want to see some more fun chalk painting stuff. And I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.